Hey there YouTube, welcome to this 3-year review of the Apple Watch. That's right, I've been wearing this since I got from the first batch in 2015. 2 years ago I reviewed it after 12 months and I was very impressed, pretty universally positive about it. Not quite so much now. The main problem is the microphone has stopped working. Now, admittedly, the day that I think it stopped working I had been having a water pistol fight. So there's a small possibility that it got wet. However, it is meant to be weatherproof, so if it had been raining on it, I would expect it to be okay. So it definitely wasn't submerged. It may have just been blasted with a water pistol, but I don't remember that happening. Anyway, either way, that doesn't work anymore, which means I can't talk to Siri, I can't set myself reminders, I can't do timers while I'm cooking, I can't take phone calls on it anymore. It's a real shame. So I went to Apple and I explained to them the problem, and they had a look and they couldn't find anything in it. It didn't look like it had got wet, because they usually say, especially if there's an iPhone, they can tell you if it's water damage. Nothing like that. They couldn't see anything wrong with it, so they said it might be a software issue. So I did try resetting the software completely, and that didn't do anything, so basically it's not working. So I said, how much would it cost to fix the microphone? Can you guess how much it would cost to fix a microphone? £199. Now, I paid £299 to buy the whole thing, so obviously that seems a little pricey. Well, I suppose they can't get in to change it, so they basically have to give you a brand new watch. So obviously I'm not going to do that. So I'm walking around with an Apple Watch that is reduced functionality wise, but that's okay. I'm learning to cope with it, although I really do miss just saying to Siri, remind me to do this, that sort of thing, when I'm walking down the street. Anyway, that said, it's not completely redundant. Apart from the fact I still use it for getting text messages, you can write back, you can type on the screen, or rather draw on the screen, not type. So if you put hello, actually write it out, then each letter comes up on the screen. So that's really cool. Other people would have dictation as well, but you can reply to text messages just by using your fingers, so that's cool. I get email notifications. It tells me when I'm meant to be places in my calendar. That's really cool. One of the things that I find really useful is the time travel option. And that's where you use the digital crown to wind forwards in time, like this. There we go, wind forwards, and it changes the weather on the centre there, look. It tells you what the weather's going to be like at different times during the day. So, as a busker, that is invaluable, because it means that when I go to the morning meeting, I can plan where my best slot is going to be. It's not always completely accurate, of course, but then you can't predict the future. I only have a guess at what's going to happen, so I find that really useful still. However, what's most useful to me is the activity rings still. I've been now exercising for 10,000 steps a day, roughly 540 active calories is my goal. So I've set that to go, and I've done it now for, I think it's 76 or 77 days in a row, something like that. It would have been about 2 weeks longer than that, but I went to my nephew's birthday party and we sat and played Switch for most of the day. So that's why that didn't happen. But yeah, now it's on a roll. I don't want to break it, and that's fantastic. It means that I'm getting loads of exercise, doing lots of walking, and generally being active. Since I finished having my teeth straightened and I have the braces off, then I can now eat whenever I want, which means I can snack again. So I have been snacking, and that did mean that I was putting on a little bit of weight, just a little bit, about this time last year. So I'm really glad that I've now got back into the routine of not missing a single activity ring. So I've been doing 540 active calories around the outside, the 30 minutes of exercise that I wish you could change but you can't, and also at least 12 hours where you stand up and move around for at least 30 seconds every hour for 12 hours a day. So I've been doing that now constantly for well over 2 months, which is great. Now, the other thing that's really good about that in terms of motivating you to move is the fact that you can join up with a buddy. Or in my case, my girlfriend. So I had actually bought my girlfriend the Apple Watch Series 3 for Christmas, and so she's linked up with me to share our activity goals. So I can see her progress and she can see mine. and then we can send each other little text messages goading each other if we've done it, or just being silly. Because some of the preset ones, like a boss is, that's quite funny, especially when you're not expecting it and it suddenly pings up like a boss. So obviously we haven't blasted ourselves into the sun or anything like that, but yeah, like a boss indeed. So being motivated like that is awesome, and neither of us wants to be the first one to drop our streak, because she's 10 days ahead of me due to that Switch incident I told you about. But now it's, who's going to blink first, and that's really, really cool. So I do feel energized. I've been out in the sunshine today, and it was a late night last night because I've been putting on gigs at the pub. There's another one tonight, so I'm a bit tired, but it's just sort of feeling a bit sleepy rather than fatigue, and I think that's because of all the exercise I've been doing. So the actual watch itself is lasted really well. If I look at it, the screen is really shiny still, which is great. This isn't the standard edition, this is the sport edition, so it's not Gorilla Glass, but even so, there's hardly any marks on the screen whatsoever. I think you'd really need to fall over and drag it along the gravel or something, or asphalt, for it to really scratch. I do have a couple of marks just here, you can see on the strap. So the strap's showing some battle scars, but it's been on my wrist for 3 years, so it's standing up very well. I've accidentally dropped it maybe twice, maybe. I think definitely once, but not from very high, and it didn't cause any problems, so that's fine. It seems a very resilient piece of technology. If you're concerned about wearing something so expensive on your arm all the time, I do lead a very active lifestyle in terms of my hands. I go busking, and there's lots of reaching into bags and stuff for equipment, and then the local pub, working in a pub to put on the music and setting up the PA and everything. There's lots of opportunity for this to get knocked, but it's been standing up really well. I can't talk today. I think I've been in the sun too much. I went busking and it was blazing down. But it was beautiful, so what are you going to do? What else? Yeah, in terms of things that I use the most, I would say that time travel feature is really good. Obviously the activity rings. Being able to check what's happening each day is also very useful. And also the workout app. Now that's the only other thing that I've come to be a little annoyed at, is the speed of the processor, because when I got it, obviously it was the only Apple Watch and everything moved just fine. And then if you remember, when he brought out the Series 2, they boosted the processor speed of the Series 1. So the Series 1 that you buy now isn't this one. This is the sort of outdated version. This is already obsolete, which is amazing. Well, not completely obsolete, because it still takes all the firmware, but the processor speed is not as fast as the ones that you can buy today. And after 3 years, I suppose it's typical Apple, but what are you going to do? But it does mean that when I click on the workout app, sometimes it freezes. It comes up with a picture and then it just stays there. And although I can go back to the home menu, I have to wait now about 10 seconds before I can actually start the workout and choose which one I want. Whereas a couple of months ago, it was actually more like a minute. So they've obviously done some work to speed up the memory issues there, because I think it probably is low on memory and has to put something to one side and load something else in. It's probably something like that, which obviously my girlfriend's new Series 3 doesn't happen at all. She can just click on workouts, select what she wants, and away she goes. So this one is getting old. I would love to replace it, but £199 to fix the microphone just seems extortionate. So rather than spend another 310 or whatever it is getting a new Series 3, I think I'm going to wait until there's a FaceTime enabled version, probably a Series 4. That's if FaceTime happens at all, but if you imagine, although it would be amazing looking at the little person on your screen, they're going to be looking right up your nose. So I don't know if they're going to do that, but it would be so cool. It would be like living in Buck Rogers, wouldn't it? So we'll see. I will definitely get a new one soon, because it's just that talking to Siri. I really want to say things. I got so used to it. And even though the microphone broke a good 8-9 months ago, yeah, I miss it still. I really do. So I think that's all for this update. If you'd like to see more videos from me, you can see how I got my teeth straightened. This is everything you need to know about Invisalign. Down here you can see some video game content. That's stuff that I've been doing recently. And if you'd like to subscribe, it would be lovely to see you again. You can click on this icon here to subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell so that you hear when I've got a new video up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.